what PDD-25 does, it takes the control of the United States troops and puts them under the control of the United Nations. What that means is U.S. citizens can now die under the hands of a foreign nation, under the command of a foreign nation. And it also gave a tremendous amount of funding to fund the United Nations.
Why would our President Clinton do that?
It's a mystery to me. I would have to say there's clearly an agenda. You know, the United Nations headquarters is set up here in America. The United Nations has a mission to destroy the last bastion of freedom in the world, and that's the United States of America. I think that clearly the underlying message, if you read through the agenda of the United Nations, is to destroy the last bastion of freedom.
To set up a new world order, one world government kind of a situation?
Yes.
Well, they're trying to merge us with the communist governments of the world. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to shift us to a communist economic system. That's what's happening. We're becoming ever more controlled. We're losing all of our individual rights. And they're really trampling on the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights within that.
We must have disarmament. There is an area of the UN and in the Charter that's working for disarmament.
Do you think that the United States should be disarmed?
The whole world should be disarmed.
What are your feelings of the UN and the New World Order?
I don't want nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to benefit me or my kids.
We just talked to a lady who felt that the way to peace and security is through disarming the entire world. How do you feel about that?
I think that's crazy.
Why is that?
Because the strength is in defense. That's how we got this country, and that's how we got to be free 200 years ago.
When we examine the UN's view of the world, religion, law, peace, and so on, we should note that the UN is a threat to the freedom and liberty of all men. They justify murder, torture, confiscation, warfare, and coercion of every kind by saying that these things are done in the service of universal human rights.
Mayor Hollister, what is the significance of raising the UN flag here today?
Well, this is the 49th anniversary of the United Nations. Next year will be the 50th. We've been celebrating in this community for 15 years. We bring children together from the schools and we celebrate diversity, brotherhood, and peace. That's a message I think that should resonate throughout the land. It's one that should not be threatening to anybody. I'm really surprised that this militia group is so threatened by the concept of brotherhood and peace.
Because what David Hollister is going to do in a half an hour across the street at Lansing City Hall is wrong. I mean, is our country sovereign? Yes. Does David Hollister think it's sovereign? No. David Hollister would just like to regionalize the United States. In fact, get rid of the state boundaries. We'll just have regional centers. I think the UN predicts our regional center will be in what, Chicago? We have to demonstrate to the statists, to the people who would strip us of our sovereignty, that we've had enough. That's why you all came here on a Monday morning, a business morning, with all these flags to show you're fed up. So after the Pledge of Allegiance, I urge you to go across the street and wait. Because what we're going to see is, does David Hollister have the guts to come out with all these patriots, these peaceful patriots, and put that flag up? I'm starting to think it's not going to happen. We might have a tremendous victory here today if they blink and they fold on this. So stick around. Stick around. We're going to wait it out and see what happens across the street at Lansing City Hall. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming out. You have really proven that this nation hasn't gone to sleep. It's now waking up. Thank you and God bless you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. They created a giant in 1776. It started a flame of liberty and freedom. We warmed ourselves. We became comfortable. We fell asleep. We've let the flames of liberty die. The cold winds of tyranny are starting to blow across the land. They awoke a sleeping giant in the Second World War. But the giant went back to sleep again. They've raised the United Nations flag for 15 years here in Lansing. And the people of Lansing have asked the question, why has the Michigan militia all of a sudden taken issue? Why weren't we here last year? Well, it takes a while to awaken a giant, but we're awake. And we're not going back to sleep. Jefferson said that the tree of liberty has to be nourished from time to time by the blood of both tyrants and patriots. We are not going back to sleep. About face, forward march. Ho.
gentlemen, please, let's not have this blue rag raised next year. Again, take and write your senators, write your representatives. Let's get legislation passed in this state.